maybe.
Waiting for a note.
All right, we're back.
And there we go. All right.
Sorry about that, guys. A little technical difficulties on this the mine's end. Their server got bogged down and wasn't able to get reconnected in time. So, like I said, we deal with these, glitches all the time. That's not like right now. Last time I checked was just a few minutes ago. Still can't. Twitter Spaces are still down. So I was getting a pop up saying that there too many streamers were on, and they're keep trying. I kept trying. When I finally got through, the connection to YouTube canceled out the other stream, so I had to just go retitle it.
And I did put on the previous stream that we are going to start a new stream. So, and I will and I just posted it to my wall as well on the tubes.
Yeah, it happens from time to time. Am I picking up my voice in the background?
You shouldn't. I have it muted.
It's weird I am. Okay, it's gone away.
I'm gonna say I ain't that damn close. Jesus Christ! I mean, I'm running 810 headphones.
Oh, so am I. Well, no, I'm just listening through my 810s. I'm not listening. I'm actually my mic I run on my Yeti most of the time.
I got to give it to Hunter. I'm like the anti-gamer, but when it comes to headphones and shit like that, they're actually pretty bodacious for listening to music.
Yes, they are.
I won't say they're quadraphonic, but they're pretty damn close. Now back on track, before we got cut off, a lot of reasons why I'm not up on camera. Just I've been on camera before with being in a collar and whatnot. But it's I'm just not feeling cam worthy today.
Oh, I'm not, but I don't care. I'm 45. Why should I care?
Well, I'm 5 years older, and I still don't feel cam worthy today. So slept like shit. I feel pretty good today, but that's subject. Wait 5 seconds, and it will change. But do I have videos in the works? Yeah, I do. It's finding the time, finding that physical energy, and that's what people don't seem to understand.
While you're talking, I'm gonna make me another cup of coffee.
Alrighty.
It's feeling like a 2-3 cup coffee morning.
Shit, I'm on cup number 3. You're way behind, man. That's what people don't understand. When we sit down, we go through the news and delving into stuff like this. It's very taxing on energy, and it's a pain in the neck to literally to deal with stuff like this. And I don't think a lot of people realize it. Sorry, I just sent a text. there's a lot of things that people don't realize that goes into all this, that the amount of energy that goes into what it is we do, and break down all this stuff, that it is relatively taxing uh, on us, when we have to dig into like the doxing and the Twitter files. It's a lot. Um, it's it is a lot to deal with. You know, to try and unpack a lot of this stuff. Or just getting bombarded with text messages due to the weather out here. But you know, people need to really pay attention to what it is around them, and how much actual news you're actually consuming. There's a reason why they call news news program, um, because it's subjective programming, and that subjective programming it is just that they want you to tune in to the programming. That's kind of why, by and large, why we don't just say, oh, on Fridays or Saturdays at blah 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 time we're going to go live, because it truly is fly by the seat of our ass timing when we go live. Yeah, sometimes it's early mornings, or mid mornings, or um, evenings when we're live, but it's very random, and it's even more random that I actually pop in. Sometimes it's pop in to uh, so that Drew don't have to listen to himself talk. Sometimes it's so that I don't have to sit and listen to myself talk too, because I um, I don't, even though many years of DJing. Little secret: I never listened to myself talk while I was DJing.
Yeah, that's why I don't fucking edit videos.
Yeah, yeah, that too. Although I have three that I actually do have to go back and edit, because somebody forgot to turn their phone off, and every once in a while when uh, you hear me live, you'll hear my phone quack, because that's my text alert, or you'll hear music come off a text or something like that, because I forget to mute my damn phone when I'm doing stuff like that, or when my cats jump around. Because hey, life is uncensored, life is unfiltered. Um, so yeah, I could I do a un, uh, do a polished um, video? Oh hell yeah! And I have the tech that I could absolutely do that. But life is uncensored and it's unfiltered.
Yeah, I like the raw, uncut. You get what you get.
Well,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, like you, I got all this software, tech stuff to publish, produce, and actually really produce good quality videos. But that's time consuming. It really is. I
it,
have in the past, but it's been a long time. I've been wanting to do something here lately where, just because I want to be able to share some things, use a whiteboard and stuff. I've been thinking about it, but it's finding the time to sit down and do those things. It's just so much easier for me to come on and just do a quick live stream. I mean, I don't even share anymore to half the places I used to. I mean, for me to start a live stream, it used to take me 20 minutes just to get all the links set up, put on all the, well, that's not even all the websites I am in. Then after the podcast, a couple days go by, there was another a good hour uploading, re-uploading to the places I didn't. It's, because, like I said, I don't care about numbers. I mean, I got like 81 subscribers here, which I'm happy with. It's perfect. I can interact with the chat when we get people in. I can, usually gotten used to having a co-host for the most part. Usually have somebody on. If not, I still enjoy doing my solo stuff. It's just easier. But there is stuff, I'd like to do. Like I said, I almost titled this one, the new modern day Rome. Essentially, it's what we're seeing play out. History. We're talking in a digital world of technology. I mean, but we forget how advanced Rome was. I mean, the advancement of Rome was huge. When it came to their investments in, I'm not to say technology. It wasn't tech, but it was a form of technology. Engineering, bathhouses, sewers, roads, aqueducts, many of the things we've improved on today. But after the fall of Rome, we went to the Dark Ages. All that stuff lost. We didn't see no great civilizations with that stuff. That's why they called that period after the fall of Rome, the Dark Ages. But yet we've unearthed, Rome had over 1 million people living in Rome, the city itself. But yet that come to find out, I think it's the Aztecs or the Incas, we found a huge metropolis that would have housed more people than what Rome did. Floating roads. I mean, over every empire comes and it goes. We're seeing the fall of many nations. Even, I hate to say it, in some ways we're seeing the fall of ours, and ours is still young. Is it going to fall completely? No. But something's going to eventually have to change.
And look at who conquered Rome. Look at the civilization that took down Rome.
They took down themselves.
They had outside help.
No. Rome, historically speaking, Rome's own demise. The Senate, the greedy emperors. I mean, after Julius Caesar, you might have had one or two more emperors that did some great things, but at the end, it was the corruption that fell Rome. It wasn't, and people don't understand. Rome was vast. I mean, they made it as far as Britain and trying to conquer. I mean, Rome was huge. They conquered more. I'd say they conquered and controlled more territory and land than Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan. The next most comparison thing to that, and some of our lifetimes, would have been what Hitler did and Germany did. I don't know, look at Germany. Germany's fallen. I mean, it's pandemonium in Germany right now. There's utter chaos going on in Germany right now.
And
same way Brazil.
And it's another one.
We think we got it bad. We got it bad, but we don't got it that bad yet. But we're not far from it if we don't. That's why it's important. I'm 50-50 with Elon Musk. Some of the things he's doing, but I can't trust the man because actions speak louder than words. To me, he's just a rich billionaire playboy acting like a kid sometimes. But yet, I got to go back to, he made a promise to help fix the water problems in Flint, Michigan, and nothing. He focused on Tesla, on his space programs, his rockets and stuff. Now he's, and everybody's coming off like he's the savior and this and that. No, he's just a man. He's a man that's making mistakes and doing some good things at the same time. He's just being human. But I mean, so I'm sorry. It's like I can't stand seeing all these celebrities now or ex-football players going into Congress. It's not what we need. We don't need the rich people running the show. We need the everyday citizens who work their asses off in a factory or a bakery or a small business owner who knows what the struggles are. That's the type of people we need in the politicians. That's, in a sense, that's what originally our founding fathers had anticipated. The future, their future children, the children of others have the chance to take these positions and make the country better than what it was for them. We've done a complete 180 flip to where it is now far worse than what it was in their time. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. We have less freedoms. Our country's based on freedom. And we got corrupt individuals, and founding fathers warned of this. They gave us the blueprint for what could happen if we didn't stay diligent. And now we get the distractions. JFK files, it's distraction. Twitter files, they're a distraction.
It's all
smoke and mirrors.
Yep.
What good has come out of the Twitter files? Nothing. Yet. I mean, it's still early, but I don't ever see it getting passed yet. Because is Elon Musk going to go take these people to court? No. Is Congress going to pull these people in that lied to them? No. Is Congress going to go after the FBI for the illegal activity and the legal stuff they did? No, because they supported it. Oh, it's going to change. Republicans will be in control. Nothing changes. It's the same song and dance. Because let me ask you this: you're paying their fucking expenses. You're paying for their lavish lifestyles. You're paying AOC to go make a film that bombed and only made $10,000 in a week, but probably spent how many millions to make it? Yet when she came into office, she couldn't even afford an apartment in DC. But now she's a millionaire on a salary that can't make a millionaire. Where's all her money come from? She ain't bartending anymore. She ain't sitting on a casting couch spreading her legs. Where's the money coming from? How's these politicians go in there, barely middle class, and within a span of 4 to 8 years, are millionaires? It should not happen ever. That's where our corruption's coming from within our government. That's why they want to be career politicians. No, my founding father got something wrong. He had a chance to put term limits on senators and didn't. But smaller nation, only 13 states at the time. They never foresaw government getting as big as it's gotten. They didn't want government to be that big. They understood the history. They understood this is what was the downfall of Rome. I mean, Rome at one point in time had over 600 senators. And it was vast, nothing but corruption. Because it was all the elites, the upper echelon, the upper caste system. It wasn't the everyday masons, farmers, business owners that were in the Senate. It was the rich, the ones that owned the land, that owned soldiers, that owned the slaves. And mind you, back in those times, slaves weren't just white, weren't black. They were mainly white. From nations they conquered, like Gaul, Caucasian. Yes, they had blacks because they conquered Africans and Egypt. You know, I'm tired of hearing the slave thing used as a crutch. Because to this day, there's still slavery going on and slave markets happening that's selling every kind of color. But the only time they want to bring up slavery as an issue is what saying it's racist is when they want to use their propaganda. They don't want to go after Africa and the shit that happens over in some African countries for the slave markets, or Egypt, or Saudi Arabia, China. The human trafficking that's taking place with children, that's happening in our very own backyards. No, those aren't the issues they want to talk about. Of course, they want to say pedophilia is mental. It's not criminal. It's mental. It's like it's identity now. It's no fucking identity. It's not mental. It's a crime. Get some morals. Identity politics, identity anything has no place in conversation. We're all human beings, and I'm sorry, at the end of the day, your DNA dictates who and what you are as a human being. You want to role play and fantasize about being something, you want to be a homosexual, fine, I can respect that. Be open about it. Hey, it's cool. Got no problem with it. In fact, I know a lot of gay people, lesbians and gay men, that they can't stand what they're seeing because it's degrading to what they are. They think it's even a crime to have drag queens shaking their stuff on stage during a reading hour to children. But we judge them by the label they've been given, the LGBTQ, whatever now, plus I think it is, I don't know, they keep changing it every so many years and adding a letter to it. Well, it's just like BDSM. You can get an argument about that because certain people will add a couple letters to it because that's what it encompasses. S&M is no longer S&M. It's I don't even know. I can't even remember all the. We add things. We try to change it to be more cool and open to where it'd be more acceptable. People's lifestyles aren't going to be acceptable to everybody's beliefs, values, and opinions. We just got to learn to respect each other. They have the right to have all that. You know, it's like the whole gay marriage thing. I don't care. We live in a country that's, supposed to be based on freedom of choice. That is a choice. Just like the whole Roe v. versus Wade. I really never argued it. Because that's a choice. Not my choice. But, hey, I've seen situations. We don't... And those arguments keep us away from the real problems. Like the Roe v. abortion arguments. Okay, there's adoption ages. Okay, let's get into the adoption. How broken and dangerous that system is. I mean, if you have the stomach to do the research, I mean, it is the worst nightmare you could ever dig yourself into. It will mess with you mentally, and you'll be sick. The horror stories that's coming from the adoption agencies or the houses that'll hold the children because nobody wants to adopt them. Half of our prison populations are pretty much, well, not half. It's too high, but we'll say a quarter of the prison population are the ones that aged out of the system, became homeless. I mean, yeah, the broken systems, there's so many. But when we get into these topics like the Twitter files, JFK files, or abortion, they're great things to talk about and debate, have conversations about. But don't get caught up into it to where you miss the real. That's how they become distractions, smoke and mirrors, because it keeps you from talking about and delving deeper into the real. What's the cause of it? Why hasn't this worked? And when you start digging past into the real meat of the matter, you start seeing a system that's so broken, and in many cases designed to be broken. That's why they don't fix it, because they're making money off it. A lot of people making money off it. You know, it was like Dave. I mean, not a big fan of the Twitter files, because, like I said, I don't see nothing coming of it. I see changes happening. Cool, both good and bad. But I don't trust the person that's running the show right now. He's got to prove himself. So I have anticipation that things are going to get better. Some things might get worse. You know, I have hopes that he don't become just like the very people that he's condemning. But you got to be also careful when you start taking your opinions from the crowd, because the crowd's just as much as the mob as it is the crowd. It can be easily slayed and easily used to influence your thoughts. I love the fact that he does listen to people, but at the same time, I'm still stuck on the fact that he made a promise that he hasn't kept. Because in the end, with me, actions speak louder than words. I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to break my back or put myself in the grave to do it. And if I can't do it, I'm going to be flat out, I can't do it. I've tried. There's just so much going on. Because in the end, that's all we got is our word. That's how we're judged by and always will be judged by, our actions. We give our word, and we've proven time and time again, we will go bend over backwards to accomplish that and do what we say. People see that. When I tell somebody I'm going to do something, they might not even know me, but they believe me because I've done it. That frequency and vibration I've been talking about a lot. That's there, that confidence, that aspect. It's like the energy calms them. They see that I'm speaking the truth, even though they don't know me from Adam. That's how much power our minds have, our bodies have. That's what they try to dampen and take away from us, because that's what they use. They don't want us to have access to that, to be able to do those things. Because then we realize we're more independent and free than what they tried to tell us we're not. We don't need to rely on them. I'm going to grab my coffee. You talk for a bit.
Yeah, I was getting. That's okay. While you were talking, I was getting blown up by text messages again. It's at the end of the day, people really need to be more observant to everything, not just one thing, but they need to be observant to everything around, not just around them, but literally everything. It isn't just the people, but absolutely everything. The Whatever is coming through their speakers, their headphones, that that little thing called a cell phone, maybe one of the most dangerous pieces of technology, but it also is the most powerfully life changing in a good way too. We've talked so many times about how good um, things could be if it's used in the right way. You know, tech, if used the right way, can move mountains.
Well, yeah. Well, here's an example. Elon Musk 10 hours ago put out this poll. We can create polls on Twitter, right? Unsuspend accounts who dox my exact location in real time. Now or in 7 days, because that's what he set it to, If you break, if I suspend you for something like this, it's 7 days. You know, I think something like this, it should be, should be brought up in a criminal manner. I think this should be suspended indefinitely.
It's not just yes, criminal, but also they should be banned.
From all platforms.
Yeah, I mean this is an IP ban situation. With a IMEI ban as well, because here's the thing, people, and I speak with an extreme knowledge of technology. Um, it You log in to a specific from a specific device. I don't care if it's a tablet, a phone, a computer. They all have an IMEI and a MAC address,
Yep.
as well as an IP address. So I assure you that when I say that they have the capability of doing not just an IP, but they absolutely can do an electronic um, uh, block.
I mean, hell, Wikipedia has no problem blocking people's IP address. I'm still blocked. As soon as I try to do something on a new device or a new IP address, and they realize what I've been doing, it's actually documented on here with them, is the fact that it's controlled. It's a whole ball game we're not going into. But before you jump in on, before I lose train of thought, he did this poll, and right now, the now is 58.5%, and 7 days is 41.5%. Here's what I was saying: you can't take everything that's being said on Twitter and the people you talk to at face value, because see, I've created my own websites in the past, built my own platforms from the ground up. Something I taught myself how to do. I'm not perfect at it. No, yeah. But I've also done my work for other people because, I taught myself. Didn't go to college for it. I taught myself. I used YouTube to teach myself and listened to other people, learned from some people who do it for a living. And I got quite good at it. But, there's these things called bots. And there's a bunch of them. And there's things where China will pay people to just literally post anti-stuff. So you can't always go by what is said here, because most people that I know, that I've interacted with, are against doxing. Like I said, if you get a motion of discovery in a courtroom, which you're entitled to, it is blacked out the person who may have made a claim against you, even though you have a right to call that person in the courtroom. But as far as your motion of discovery, doesn't show their address. That's all blacked out.
Yep.
Because you could intimidate that person, or you could have something done to that person. You could go do something to the person, which is against the law. You can threaten that person. No, I've never been a fan of doxing. It's too dangerous. Especially putting it out there for any psycho or wacko to find, who might just do it because, hey, they're not mentally stable.
Well, let's
or they believe what they've been told from a propaganda outlet like Fox, MSN, CNN, or some radical podcaster.
Well, we could go pretty far down the rabbit hole. All you really need.
So we don't have to go that far down the rabbit hole. We can stay with the last couple of years. The hacker that got sent to prison and doing more prison time than the pedophiles that he turned in.
Well, I mean, all you really need to really start that it is cat get down, damn it. Is to really start that that process is uh, to have a person's license plate. Um, and
Which, I mean, that's where I kind of say where Elon Musk has been a little bit a hypocrite here, because he posted a picture of the guy in the car. He would have been cool if he'd have stopped there asking for information if anybody's seen this guy. But then again, it's not his place either, because he's not law enforcement. So you got to take that into the equation. But where he went wrong was when he posted the picture of the front of the car with the guy in it, he put the license plate number out there. You just doxed that person.
Exactly.
Or the company that rented the car.
Yep.
So you're no better than the people doxing. So
yep.
In a sense, we could probably say, no, you probably should unsuspend them because you just doxed that person.
Yeah, that's right.
You're not a fucking, just because you're a billionaire, you're not a fucking cop. You're not in law enforcement. You're not a federal agent. What you're supposed to do, yes, I have no problem with posting the picture because there was nothing wrong there. Because dude is a danger and it can be considered a menace to society. But, I know people would argue with me on this. No, that's even wrong. And, they have a good point. Because now you're no better than what he's doing. Because you're technically, somebody sees him, they might want to take action. It's like I'm not a fan of the paparazzi. Or these private people that go out and snap people's photos and post it on for people to see. I know you're invading a person's privacy, or you're sharing information where they're at, which could lead to something harmful happening to them. There's no place in this world where doxing should be made legal or right. It's a moral question.
And that's I've had so many conversations about morality over the last week, and I've been kind of morality that kind of falls into that spirituality.
Oh yeah, we don't want to go there. Go ahead.
It does. It dovetails right into that that energy and spirituality conversation very well. All right, cats, both of you get down. We're not going to play this hippity hop barbershop game.
I'm going to choose not to go there on this topic with you. Go ahead, finish.
Well, it does, the morality aspect of things. It does tie into the energetic aspect of things, and so many people have they just think, oh well, if they're out in public and whatnot, that they, it's too many. I think just think that, oh, if they're in public or they're standing in public, that they should be allowed to do this. It's like all these First Amendment auditor type people. It's like, good God, just stop. Think about it. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes for a second. It's there's a morality aspect to this too, and people don't want to even think about this, even for a split second. That there is some, even in public, there's a certain amount of privacy that should be afforded to absolutely everybody. And
see, that to me falls under it's respect.
Yeah, yeah.
It should be respect, not a morality thing or spirituality thing. I mean, some people are open with it. Some people are okay. Some cultures, like go to Brazil and you watch your soap operas, you're pretty much watching an X-rated video. Yeah. But it's okay to that culture. Every culture is different. Everybody's different. And that's why I have the issue with spirituality and morality being equated to each other, because it's something we should keep very separate from each other for reasons I'm not going to get into on here. There's a difference, because that's when You let the two combine, and we have issues where the church, who thinks their God and only their God is right, of that particular religious dogma, whatever label you want to put to it, at you're referring to, is better than everybody else, and therefore their morals, which are based on their spirituality, dictates laws and policies where it's not supposed to. Church and state is supposed to be separate.
Agreed, and
I get what you're saying with the energy aspect, but you control your energies.
100%.
Well, you're supposed to control your energies. Most people let everybody else control it for them, but that's beside the point. It's the fact that we've seen this play out throughout history, where spirituality mixes with the morality, and people don't understand spirituality is different than religion. Religion is dogmatic. It's dogma. There's a dogma behind it. There's a set of edicts, rules, laws. And we've seen too many holy wars. We've seen too many people, and truthfully, and there's more people killed in war in God's name than there is in giving love to a person in God's name. Because both sides, most people, dominant faiths, they believe their God's going to see them through, prevail, they're going to win their war. But the same things happen on the other side that they're fighting with. They believe their God, which sometimes the same God, is going to see them through. There's where the lines start blurring. Morality, we build our morals, our values, and beliefs through our walks of life. Things we experience, things we learn. And the thing is, none of that's set in stone. I'm 45. I'm still learning things. I'm still finding out some things I thought and believed in are wrong. But if I allow myself to close my mind and be stubborn and dead set that everything I've been taught's right, everything I've heard is right, I'm become closed-minded. I lose my individuality. I lose my freedom to think for myself and question everything. But that's how everybody's been programmed. So yeah, there's a danger when we start getting into morality and spirituality. That's why I tend not to talk about issues like that. They're important issues to talk about. I believe everybody should be spiritual, just not religious, or the term religion. Spiritual beings are more, actually, there's a good quote in the Bible, and it's about judgment. When it talks about not to judge people or how to judge people. But in the end, let he who is spiritual, which means most of us, not happening, because we've all done things. We haven't forgiven somebody. We committed a sin or whatnot, however you want to term it. But there is that time and place where you'll feel spiritual. I'll use the Christian term. You'll feel that Holy Spirit enter in you, where that's the spiritual feeling, and that's when it's time to speak, to cast judgment. But do not, like it says, don't cast unless you are spiritual, because if you're not, it's going to go the wrong way. It's going to be taken the wrong way, and it wasn't the time to say it. There's a time and place for everything. There's a time when you mention something to somebody about something. There's a time when people eventually overcome what's going on now. There's a time where people wake up and see things for what they are. It's been the cycle throughout centuries, throughout the beginning of this earth, probably. But yet we have man that comes around and says, no, this is how it happened. I don't know how it happened. I wasn't around back then. Just like I said, how do we know the sky is blue? Because somebody said the sky's blue. They named it. We still have flat earthers out there. I don't know how, but we do. But then again, it goes back, how do we really know? I mean, there's ways how we know, but it's because that's what we were told and taught. So therefore, what they're saying is, we might perceive it, keyword perceive, perception. Our perception is that they're wrong because it goes against what we've been taught. It goes against how we see it. But in the end, none of us have really seen it. So we're arguing a glass half full. Is a glass half full or full or empty argument? It's fun to talk about, fun to debate, but in the end, it's irrelevant. It is what it is. I.e., the Hebrew term, I am that I am. It just is. But yet we shape those things. We control those things. We control the narratives of things. You control the narrative of things. You control what comes into your influence and in your own little sphere of life. You're in control of what comes in and out of it. We're on these social media platforms. We're somewhat in control. And when I say somewhat, because there's some things that we only see a fraction. No, let me rephrase this. I was about to phrase it wrong. What we see and take in when we're scrolling down or reading something, only a portion of that is we truly see. Let's say 75%, 25% is what we see and goes straight to our mind. 75% of it goes right straight to your subconscious, because there's things that are there that we can't see. Just like imagery. That's why imagery is so fun and dangerous, because you can put stuff in there that you can't see with your naked eye, but your other senses see it. And that don't go to your conscious mind, it goes to your subconscious mind, which is a whole nother ball game. And it has more influence over you than you will ever realize. But you guys haven't been taught those things, because those things are taboo. Those things are evil. Those things would probably save your life and change this world drastically, so we couldn't be manipulated and controlled by these things. But anywho, enough of the spiritual mumbo jumbo, right? That's not what you guys are here for. And that's just my opinions. That's actually more than my opinions. That's my everyday walk of life. But that's my walk of life, not yours. Life's fun. But it is scary, the times we're living in. Now, I will be the first one to admit this year wasn't it's been a crappy year for me, but as it didn't get as bad as many of us thought it would. I don't know if we should be worried about that, whatnot, because I think we're still in dangerous times. But I also think we're in some good times, because we're seeing more people question things. We've seen a lot of change that struck fear into the people that are running this world. And that's scary, because when you back something in a corner, they're going to lash out. And they have been. They've just been publicly out front, not hiding anything anymore, just doing it right in front of our eyes. Problem is, so many of us get caught up in these smoke and mirrors, these distractions like Elon Musk, Twitter files, JFK files, that we're failing to see it. We're not seeing what's going on right in front of our eyes. We're not seeing what Congress is getting ready to pull next. And right now is the most dangerous time, because now they want to get as much passed through the House and Senate as they can before the majority changes. While the administration that be now has control, they're going to do whatever they can. And in some cases, they might try to do whatever they can to make sure that come January, the next group can't come in. Not saying that'll happen. I don't see that happening, but it's always a possibility because they're become unpredictable for what they do now. But it's also like I said, it doesn't matter which administration is running the show. It's the same song and dance. So maybe one day we'll get the idea and concept of quit electing these rich politicians in, start electing our very own neighbors and community members in that are everyday people that aren't going to go in there and be about the money and make some real changes. Make the betterment for us, not them. Because that's actually what they're supposed to do. They hold an office of trust. Their sole purpose and goal is the betterment of the people they serve, not their own greed, corruption, egos. Not wearing $1,000 suits and dresses, or going to a lavish galley wearing a dress that none of us could afford in our lifetime. Most of our wedding dresses that our wives wore to the wedding don't cost that much. And I know some women, they'll spend some good money on some wedding dresses. But not as much as these rich elitists do. I gotta have the biggest toys, the fanciest cars, the newest cell phone. Not happy with the simple things because they forgot what simplicity is. The simple things in life. The things that most people value more than the things they buy. But we're reaching that other hour mark, and I'm not doing another one. Hour. I got things I need to do. And I turned fucking morning coffee and chat into a rambling and chaotic mind session. And I'm just getting started on my second cup of Death Wish coffee. Not an endorsement, but it's been a while since I've had any, and I've had this for a while. And it's like, you know what? I need something stronger than stasis. I still got some more laundry to do. Eventually, got to start cooking something. Hopefully, catch my neighbor when he gets home from work, so I can get a jump start. Since my battery decided to go dead again. It's been a couple months since it's done it, but I'm kind of stuck here and almost completely out of cigarettes. Need bottled water. Need a couple things from the store. So, with very little money, because I was off for 2 weeks. I only had a 1-day paycheck last. I must check next week. I won't have none. Well, I'll have my bonus, so that's gonna cover some of the bills. So yeah, I'm kind of behind the 8 ball again. But that's cool. Like I said, I'll be moving at the end of in 2 weeks, so there'll be one less headache, and I'll be able to finally come January, be all the way caught back up on everything and start back over. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I mean, we talked about some fun things, not so fun things. And I definitely will be doing a podcast later, sometime this weekend. Like I said, I got a few things I want to talk about, and get into. And I'm actually seriously thinking about doing one just, titled Welcome to the New Realm. Then again, I might see if I can't get a hold of a couple people and have them join, and just have a free-for-all of just topics and conversations of various topics. Because there's a couple people I won't mind getting on here and chatting with for a bit. And I need to do that while I've still got good internet, because it's going back to not having very crappy internet again. At least for a few months.
Sorry, I'm back. I had to step away for a minute.
That's okay. I'm getting ready. I'm starting to wrap it up.
Yeah, I had a urgent phone call I had to take. So
I've got things I got to do.
Yeah, I've got to go do a few things. on the back end here that I wasn't expecting to have to do. Um, and hopefully, with any luck, I'll get stuff done. Um, but yeah, uh, my radio is going ballistic. So I have to hop out of here and hop off. Um, watch out for this storm coming in. More importantly, watch out the end of next week and next weekend. It's not going to be anything nice. Now they're talking uh, minus 20 to 30s.
Jeez,
Yeah.
I don't care. I want some snow. Damn it.
Well, we got yeah, maybe 4.5.
Man, we haven't got nothing. I mean, it's been gloomy, overcast for the last 2 weeks. We've gotten rain, some, but that's it.
We had 2 inches of that.
I mean, it's cold today. It's like in the very low 30s and 20. So, but shit, there's no snow.
Oh, it's coming.
But then again, I better shut up because I need to get the jump start on my Suburban and get that battery charged back up. So I don't really want no real bad weather or cold weather while trying to do that.
Yeah, it's cold weather's coming next week, so hang on. If you think Keens is chilly, wait till the end of next week. It'll be like Canada cold. There's a voice that hasn't been heard from yet. But I got to get out of here. I got stuff I got to get done. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to go hit the road, and I don't want to.
I want to. I just can't.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a choice. So,
but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will definitely see you sometime this weekend. I'll do another one. Probably, I don't know, tomorrow night or maybe Sunday. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. You have a good one. I gotta go. I gotta get on the road.
You guys enjoy your Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. I'll talk to you on the next one.